If there's one thing that separates winners and losers, it's one thing: marketing. If you want the hot wife or the fast car or the nice big house, you need to get good at marketing. Without it, your personal brand will die and will never reach its full potential. If I had to come up with a definition of what marketing is, it would be this: marketing is everything that you do to attract and retain people. And although this sounds cheesy and quite bro-ish, without marketing, you won't get paid and you're not going to get laid. I am not an expert in business. I'm not even a guru or really even that smart. I'm just good at one thing, and that is sending traffic. That's all I do for a job. I send traffic to websites. The point of this video, send traffic to a website. The point of every single email marketing campaign I've ever done, to send traffic to a website. I'm not an influencer. I just send people to websites. And the sooner you can appreciate to be a fantastic digital marketer, that's all you need to do, the easier you can start to get better at it. In this video, we're going to look at digital versus traditional marketing, strategy versus tactics, the 4 pillars of marketing mediums, organic marketing versus paid marketing, awareness versus sales, search versus discovery, products versus services, and then B2B versus B2C. And although they seem like complex jargon, boring terminologies, in the next few minutes or so, you're going to be able to understand where you need to put your attention and where you need to avoid wasting it. Marketing is now split into 2 places: digital and traditional. Traditional is TV, radio, print, and we're going to put face-to-face in there as well. That could be walking the floor as a personal trainer. It could be networking in some kind of business sense, or even cold outreach. If you were to open a jiu-jitsu gym, you could knock on the doors of the local 1,000 houses and maybe build your business that way. That would go under traditional media. Although I've got some experience in face-to-face from running a personal training business and working in door-to-door sales, the real place that I'm a black belt is digital marketing. Social media, email, pay-per-click, which could be ads, and landing pages. I'm going to call them LPs for today. I think the important things to realize is that although TV and radio do not have the pulling power that they once did, maybe 10, 15 years ago, I still believe that print and face-to-face traditional marketing are still powerful tools. Whether you're a physio, strength and conditioning coach, personal trainer, or even an accountant or an insurance broker, there is still an element of face-to-face marketing that you could do going into local businesses, running free workshops. And then when it comes to print, I still think flyering is very much alive. I even had an idea this morning for my friend who I train jiu-jitsu with. He's looking to get new members into his gym. I said to him, why not partner with your local coffee shop that you go to, and tomorrow morning between 6 and 8 a.m. pay for everyone's coffee. This might cost you a few $100s, sure. As every single person goes to pay, the barista or the owner of the coffee shop is to say, this coffee has been bought by Revolve Gym in Thurl. All they ask is that you take this flyer in return and consider doing a 7-day free trial. This leans into what I would call the law of reciprocity. Giving someone a flyer in a coffee shop could feel a bit jarring, a little bit, no thanks. But going out your way, even if someone doesn't take you up in the 7-day free trial to buy someone a coffee, I just know that that type of tactic would win me over. If I was buying a coffee tomorrow morning and I went to get an almond croissant and they said, oh, James, this has been paid for by a massage parlor down the road. All they ask is that you take this leaflet and maybe consider using them. I don't think I'd be able to relax until I'd at least booked in for one massage and go in and say thanks for the free croissant. The world that we live in now, we must appreciate that digital marketing is probably going to give us the best return for investment. And it doesn't matter how old you are, how late you are to the game, the beauty of digital marketing is the compounding effect of effort. Whether this is your email list or whether this is your social media, whether this is your income, this is the reality of what it looks like to put your heart and soul into digital marketing. Because for the first couple of years, you're just getting your reps in, what it's like to write an email, what it's like to film content. By year 3, things start to stick a little bit more. By year 4, it feels like an automated process that you couldn't do the day without. And by day 5, everyone will call you an overnight success. Some people will do this in 2 months. Some people do it in 6 months, but it's just really important that you appreciate, similar to the compounding interest that you earn in an interest savings account, in the area that most people give up, you just need to appreciate it's where the least will happen. And it's the area that 90% of people don't get to, where you start to see the amazing returns from it. The next 2 things to look at are strategy and tactics. When we look at strategy, we want to look at the model of the business. Is it online? Is it in person? Is it a service? Is it a product? We want to look at the market. We don't want to overly niche. We don't just want to work with 23 to 27-year-old men from Northumbria that are left-handed, but we do want to appreciate who our market is. What problems do they face? What solutions could we give them? How could they relate to our own personal story? Then we want to think about sales. Are we going to be making our sales actively or passively? If you're someone that uses sales calls within your business, that is active. If you do not turn up on sales calls and close people, you do not get sales. But everyone by now really knows that I prefer passive sales. What this means is that there are automations and flows that people can join into and jump into. They can work their way through them, and you wake up in the morning with money in your Stripe account. And then the last point would be media. What platforms are we going to use? Are we going to double up on LinkedIn? Or are we going to use YouTube? These are all components of strategy. When we look at tactics, posting frequency. And again, the majority of you should be posting every day. And for some of you, that really stresses you out. But I didn't say you had to produce an artwork, piece of content every day. A screenshot of a tweet, a carousel post. All you need is 10 photos and maybe 10 minutes to write some captions on it. If you're telling me you don't have time to do one post a day, there is something not just wrong with your business, but your life. Content type. You're going to go long format like this, where you can accrue hours of sit time. Or you're going to go for short form content like TikTok or Instagram. Timing. How long is that piece of content going to be? Is it going to be short, impactful, long? Packaging, which can be incredibly important, especially if you're putting it on YouTube. And then, of course, what does the funnel look like? Right now, you are inside my digital marketing funnel. One of my videos will come up on your Explore feed and you'll click on it and you'll watch it. Each video in the description has several call to actions. For instance, this week, I decided to make a document that explains to people how to perfectly create a landing page to get more conversions and sales. I give people a link in the description, there'll be one in this video, where they can download that asset and I'll send it across to them via email. If they're not interested in landing pages, there's also 30 bits of business advice over 30 days. Then the third link that I'll put in there is a link just straight to the business mentorship where you see what it is, what you get, how much it costs, why to trust me, etc. Now the landing page template gives you a PDF. Then over the next 11 days afterwards, I check in with you and give you a bit of advice to make sure that your landing page can convert better. The 30-day autoresponder hits you for 30 days with business advice that you can implement into your business on that day. And then the third one is if you visit the website, we have something called a tracking pixel, which means that from that point, we can then allocate paid advertising into people that have visited that landing page and potentially not bought. We can follow you around with ads and different offers for other courses, because if you don't buy the business mentorship, which is $2,500, maybe the $99 content mastery course is perfect for you. No matter which lead magnet you come in through, we're going to add you to a database, which you can broadcast to. And if at any point you're not interested, you can unsubscribe. The reason we call it a funnel is this. At the first point of the funnel is something called impressions. That is how many people see my thumbnail and video. I know that about 6.2% of all people that see my videos end up clicking through and watching. See that from YouTube Analytics. I then at the moment use Ed Lawrence's RevTrack to see how many people are clicking from a video. And we know that about between 0.3 to 2.7% of people that watch a video end up clicking. The reason that the funnel is an inverted pyramid is that out of the millions of people on YouTube, only several thousand of them are going to watch. Out of the several thousand that watch, only a small percentage of those are going to click. Out of the people that click, only a certain percentage of people are going to finish the emails. And out of the people that read the emails, only a certain amount of people are going to buy. Now, through perfecting and learning and curating my marketing approach, this funnel can become narrower, where more people that start at the top end up being clients. But for me, I know all I need to do, make more content, get more people watching, which is going to be more clicks, which is going to mean more emails, which is going to mean more sales. Someone was complaining the other day that my business mentorship has gone up 33% in 4 months. And I said to him, mate, I've been telling you this for ages, because the premise of digital marketing is the bigger my social media following gets, the more people watch content, which means more people click, more people read emails, more people buy. And like you saw before, we're still very much in the infancy of this channel. When this channel gets to 300,000 subscribers, that's going to mean we can tenfold every single number that goes through this funnel. And I'm not going to be able to manage 10 times the amount of clients. So the only lever that I have to manage with demand for my business is going to be increasing the prices. Now, talking of my businesses, we're going to get into the 4 pillars. The first one is going to be the model. So the offer for Newtonic is to boost people's productivity with evidence-based nootropics, which are kind of supplements for the brain. We have premium pricing for the product because we have to source about 9 different ingredients to get in there. Plus, we also need to build and grow the business. We need to have enough margin that we can build more products to ship into more countries, to be in more territories. The delivery of the product is done through partners like Amazon, TikTok Shop, and we also ship direct to people. We're now currently trying to prioritize direct to customer, because that means that we can get the contact information of the customers so that 12 days after they've bought a 12-pack, we can email them saying, if you've run out of Newtonic, feel free to top up. And the reason that we love the productivity market so much is that if today I eat like shit, I'll be fine. Today, if I don't train, I'll be fine. Today, if I don't get that much sleep, I'll be fine. But today, if I do not get all the work done that I need to get done, I am a grumpy piece of shit. I see productivity as being like the new fitness. The next model, let's think about the mentorship. So we're closing in on $3 million worth of business. We're not even halfway into our second year. Pricing is $2,500 for a lifetime membership. We also have satellite courses at $99 to help people with short form content. The reason there's such a price discrepancy is if you get a satellite course like short form content mastery, there's none of my time, energy, or effort. However, the reason that it's $2,500 is this is lifetime, and people get access to me in the Discord. This is still very cheap considering you actually get access to me. I haven't got any coaches at the time of this video that support me at all. So every content critique, every single landing page, every single website, that is me. Some people think it's quite stupid to do lifetime, but the reason being is everyone in the community respects not only each other's time, but my time too. They don't post content critiques every single day. They'll do 1 or 2 a week, and they'll do it when they need it. And they'll do it when they're changing up their content strategy. And the delivery of it is that the moment you join, you get access to me. But all I ask is that you watch the modules that I've made about email marketing, landing page design, content creation, so that when you present questions to me in the mentorship, 2 things. 1, I can help you with them. And 2, if I recognize there's a pattern and a trend of things that are all the same, I'll then build out new things into the course. For instance, if everyone was asking about ChatGPT, I would wake up and go, to stop me repeating myself, I'm going to create a whole new course on ChatGPT. Then we look at the model for my training app. You can see we're coming up to $16 million. This is Australian, so just through Stripe alone, that's over 10 million US dollars. And probably the most impressive thing here is the fact that 121,000 customers. The reason I even show you that is the majority of gurus that sit here made all of their money from teaching people how to make money. I've made 4 times as much money from running a fitness business than I have from being a course bro. Our offer for affordable online coaching, as far as the model that we have for affordable online coaching, we have a program only membership, which is $16 US per month. And then our premium package is $224 US, but you get 4 months with that. So we run a challenge model around the premium membership. And if people just want their program rotated, $16 a month. So they're the models to the business. Where we have Newtonic, we have the mentorship, and we have affordable online coaching. We have the market, the message, and the media. These are the other 3 pillars. Now, the target customer between these is actually quite close in some respects, because the people that like Newtonic are going to be people that value productivity. People in the mentorship are probably going to be entrepreneurs. So we could argue that the right cohort for the mentorship would love Newtonic, and Newtonic would love the mentorship. As far as affordable online coaching, this is probably going to be some of my older audience from me being a personal trainer and calling people twats on the internet. So the perfect market for that is ultimately someone that just wants their program written for them and doesn't want to pay hundreds of dollars for that to happen. Let me talk about the message we want to communicate about pain points. For Newtonic, that's going to be based around focus, because if you can't focus, lock in. The majority of us watching this, we have maybe 1, 2, 3 hours a day that we can really dial in and get work done. And for a lot of us, it's just about making the most of that. The messaging for the mentorship is a lot of people know if they could make better content, get into a routine of posting frequency, and understand email marketing and how to create a landing page, that they could build an audience of people that want to buy the stuff they have. The problem with most people, even watching this video, is you have the skills, but you do not have the customers. And it's connecting your skills with the customers that gives you the business. We'll make the message there, make money online. And then the messaging for AOC is great in affordable coaching, because the reality is coaching shouldn't be expensive. Now, when it comes to the media for the majority of these, Newtonic is going to be Instagram and pay-per-click. To grow and scale the business, we're going to need to invest heavily into paid ads. When we look at the mentorship, it's YouTube, Instagram, and pay-per-click. YouTube in priority to Instagram, we just end up putting clips on Instagram, and the pay-per-click is going to be the ads. The key component that differentiates this is Newtonic does not have a YouTube channel, because we don't really have the audience. If people are struggling with focus, they don't go onto YouTube. But when people are struggling with making money online, they do. So this is where the pillars start to change a little bit. Then when it comes to affordable online coaching, the main media for running that business is just email marketing, followed by some Instagram posts, but the majority of that is email marketing. When it comes to challenge time, maybe 95% of all sales are attributed to that. Which is going to bring me into our next step, organic versus paid marketing. For the majority of you out there, you should master organic, because it's going to cost you a lot of money to get millions of people to see your reel or your YouTube video. But if you can get good at organic, you can get it done for free. But either way, you're going to have to pay for people's attention. You're either going to have to pay in time, energy, and effort by getting better at the trade of making good content, or you're going to have to pay whichever social media platform it is to put it in front of them. The biggest charlatans online will tell you not to worry about organic and instead just to focus on paid. The reason is that it's very difficult and it's very time consuming and it's very energy and resource draining to get good at organic content. But think about this. The better you get at organic content and making reels and YouTube videos or whatever it is, you're also generating the same skills to understand what's going to resonate with paid. In my opinion, if you cannot master organic content, do not go to paid yet. Paid is the icing that goes on top of the cake. But if you cannot bake the cake yet, do not get distracted with icing. Organic, you pay with time, energy, and effort. Paid, you pay with money. In marketing as well, we have direct marketing and we have awareness. So direct marketing would be emails going out to people, Black Friday, join my offer, discount going now, buy today, Newtonic, bundle offer, 2 months of productivity to your door for £100, whatever it is. It's direct marketing. But then on the other end of the spectrum, we have awareness. So right now there's going to be some overlaid footage of my car getting wrapped in Newtonic. The second I drive out of that shop with that on, we don't get people buying Newtonic. Then the footage here you'll see is the time that we went to Las Vegas and sponsored a jiu-jitsu tournament and gave someone $50,000 for the submission of the night. Again, giving out loads of cans of Newtonic in Vegas, we didn't see a massive uptick in sales that month or that day. So sometimes when it comes to marketing, there are things you can do today to get sales, but there are also other things you can do that won't uptake your sales at all, but can build your awareness. The biggest mistake that I find people make is sometimes they put some eggs into the basket of building awareness for their brand and their business, and they expect to make money from it. Even when we look at social media platforms, TikTok to me is mostly just an awareness platform. Sure, some people run good businesses and TikTok Shop does well, but for the time being, because I haven't really got that many funnels set up on TikTok, I just use it to build awareness. So make sure that when you're spending money and you're doing energy and effort in your marketing, some stuff is going to bring you sales, other stuff is going to build up your brand so that people are going to know it, maybe ask questions about it, or maybe just be nurtured far enough down the process until they buy. Another thing we need to think about in marketing is search marketing versus discovery marketing. The biggest mistake people make when they go to YouTube is they think that people are searching for their video, but they're not. Maybe if your video is about how to change the settings on your FX3 camera, people are going to search for that. But the majority of content on YouTube is now browsed for. Some people spend a lot of money with things like SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, but in my opinion, those days are dying. I think that even search engines as we know them, like Google, are going to be replaced by AI and ChatGPT very soon. The future of marketing is what I call discovery-based marketing. I looked at the analytics on my YouTube before making this video. 12.7 times more views come from people discovering my videos than searching for them. That's why titles, thumbnails, and packaging is so important. So if we rule search out of the equation and we're going to get discovered, the two biggest things we need from this, good packaging, titles and thumbnails. The other thing is good hooks. Because if you're using a social media platform like TikTok, like Instagram Reels, like YouTube Shorts, instead of people seeing your packaging, they're going to see your hook. And here's a rule that I want all of you to work with. Watch back a piece of content when you create it. And if in the first 8 seconds, you don't know what it's about, what problem it solves, and what they're going to get, you need to reformulate the hook. You have about 8 seconds. If they do not know what they're going to get in that time, they're going to go. The next differentiation we need to make in marketing is products versus services. Here is a golden rule for any of you that are going to get into this realm. You can discount a product, but never a service. Because if you discount a product, you just make less margin. If you discount a service, you end up with less time. And time is just something that you shouldn't be selling or giving away for anything less than it is already. So products would be Newtonic and affordable online coaching. The reason that I put that as a product is the more people that buy that, they don't get my time. I end up paying the coaches and we just make less profit. The mentorship is a service because it's directly tied to my time. If you double the amount of people in my mentorship, you sap a lot of time out of me. You can discount products, run promotions, don't do that on services. Most people start off in a surface-based industry, whether it's personal training, being a physio, whatever it is. Then after a while, they like to take whatever it is they're doing and put it into a product because products are easy to scale. Services are not. And the last thing that we need to look at that's very important when it comes to marketing, business to business versus business to customer or consumer. The majority of gurus that you follow online operate business to business businesses. The way you market these are very different. Business to business, your customers are often going to get a return on investment, which means if they spend 1,000, they should make 10,000 back. My course, 2.5K, I expect you to make that back in a few months. But if you use my training app or you buy Newtonic, there's no guarantee that you're going to spend $100 with us and get that back. So a lot of the time you want to sell for return on investment in B2B. In B2C, you want to sell the experience, the solution, so more productivity or workouts all taken care of. You're probably going to work with smaller margins in B2C. And by nature, you're probably going to end up doing more organic marketing. The reason being, if you don't make massive margins on your B2C, you've got less money to play with paid ads, which means you probably are going to have to turn up, put out more content, do live streams, do live webinars, do everything you can to build that business. Whereas a lot of people in the B2B space have massive margins to spend on paid ads, and they can often hire big teams. Typically B2B, fewer clients, bigger deals. And the biggest trap you need to avoid is that a lot of the people that you follow in this realm that have their Ferraris and Lamborghinis or whatever are telling you what to do to build your business when many of you are running the B2C business. My best advice would be become a weapon of organic, digital, online content. If you do that, you don't need their shitty advice. So there's a comprehensive guide into digital marketing. Pick your socials, post all of them if you can. The majority of you are going to want to use some form of email marketing because then you can move into a passive sales system. This is pretty much the formula that I put out in every video. Build your socials, get people knowing you, get people interested in your brand, choose some kind of value-based commodity that you could give someone like the ones in the description, send people to a page where they can find out everything about your products and services and sell to them. All of those terminologies that you may not have understood before should be made clear from this video. If you made it this far to the end, make sure to check out the links in the description.